Well, good evening, folks. It's Commodore Dave Harden coming at you live from the Dave Cave. I know I'm about a month late in doing this, but I'm still very excited to do it. This is the first episode of Shark Tales. It's going to be stories and little tidbits about my favorite singer and a very close friend of mine, Jack Russell. So let's get it started. First time I ever heard Great White back then was 1986, driving my Cutlass down Western Avenue with a buddy of mine, and we heard Rock Me on the radio. And it was an amazing song. And my buddy goes, "Hey, man, this is the new Zeppelin. Check it out." So I was like, wow, yeah, it kind of sounds like Zeppelin, this, that, and the other. And later on that evening, I dropped him off, and the Loop played it again. That was Chicago's rock station back then. What a kick-ass station it was. And they go, "This is the new one by Great White called Rock Me." And I'm like, "Oh, man, that's not Zeppelin. It's Great White." So I rushed out and got the cassette, and, man, I played the hell out of that. That was Once Bitten. It was great. I didn't get to go to my first show. I believe it was 1992 at the UIC Pavilion. The opener was Trickster, then Great White, and then Kiss Unmasked. Great show. I paid crazy amount of money for, I believe it was 7th row, dead center. Great seats, great show. And pardon the pun, but I was hooked ever since. The the first time I ever got to meet Jack was I moved to Louisville, Kentucky, and no, let me take that back. It was at the Cubby Bear in 93, 94, I believe. Yeah. And they put on a great show, and that was the Sail Away tour. Got to meet him outside briefly, got a high five, told him what a big fan I was, so on and so forth. Later that year, I traveled. I lived in Louisville, Kentucky, and seen him at the Toy Tiger, if any of you remember that. And we got to spend some time after the show by the tour bus, and I remember telling him, "Hey, I'm Dave, huge fan," so on and so forth. Very down to earth, very, very nice. Took a picture with him. The guy that was out there told me, "Oh, I'll send you the picture." I never got that. So if you're out there, I'd really appreciate that picture, but I don't even remember his name. But every time I've went to go see these guys, it was always cool because in the 90s, they started playing a little bit smaller venues and stuff like that, and they were close personal shows, and it was just amazing in every way. I got so pumped. The after effects, well, you can tell by the smile, lasted days, sometimes even weeks. I always took pictures and stuff, and if you check out on my Facebook, a lot of those old shows I took pictures and so on and so forth. I have accumulated quite a collection of memorabilia over the years. I call it the Dave Cave. Some of you have been here, and last July, as a matter of fact, Jack played my hometown, Jack Russell's Great White and Firehouse, here in Streator, Illinois, and he was kind enough to stop by, and he sat right there. And I go, "Hey, man, what do you think of the Dave Cave?" He goes, "This isn't your cave, it's my cave." All this stuff around here, it was very cool. Some other highlights through the years. I don't want to do everything in one show, but I will say this. Back in 2013, I went to a show in Versailles, Ohio, and I was dating my now wife about, 6, 8 months. And I asked Jack for a favor, and he allowed me to come on stage and bring Jen, and I proposed to her on stage. and it was kind of very, very cool. And then later on, he was kind enough, along with Heather, thank you both, to allow us to get married on his boat in Redondo Beach, California. This man is so down to earth. He has been a part of my musical history since 1986. Sorry, I was a late bloomer. I know there was music and stuff like that before that, but that's when I found him. And been a hardcore fan ever since. The most important thing I have to say is this. To me, his voice kind of just crawls up inside your soul and curls up and just gives you that smile, that groan he has, that amazing voice. Throughout the years, I can't even think of a bad Great White song that I just don't even like. One of the hardest questions for me to answer is, what's your favorite Great White song? What's your favorite Great White album? Recently, because of a new young singer called Nate Peck, or Nathaniel Peck, his version of Love is a Lie brought back a lot of memories for me. I just posted that on the social medias on Facebook. Shout out to him. He's doing an amazing job. Jackson pressed with him, and I can't wait to see what the future holds for that young man, because he's a ball of talent. Jack, I know, is impressed with him, but get back to the original. Love is a Lie is probably definitely in my top 5, and just the powerful vocals and the meanings behind the song and so on and so forth. Getting to know someone that you've idolized for a long time. They say don't meet your idols, it'll let you down. I totally disagree with that. Jack Russell was a kind soul, just a true gentleman of rock and roll. He has always been so kind. I don't think I've ever seen him mad in person. I know what happens. Well, I know what happened, around 2010, but that's a whole nother story. But I just want to say that I really, really, really love this band, which is now Jack Russell's Great White. All the members, past and present, but currently Ken Mary, hell of a drummer, Dan McNay, bass master, Robbie Lochner on the guitar. I mean, say no more. Mr. Robbie frickin' Lochner. Amazing. And then you have Tony Montana back from the old days, and he just does an amazing job on that guitar. So soulful, so bluesy, not to mention his amazing voice. When he jumps in on Mr. Bone and the vocals and things like that, it just makes me wear that Jack Russell's Great White smile. I'm going to keep this one short because it's the first one. I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. There'll be more to come, okay? If you want to find out more about Jack Russell's Great White tour dates, because we're coming back out in May, you got the Jack Russell Facebook page. You have the Jack Russell's Twitter page. We're also on Instagram, Jack Russell's Great White Official, I believe. I'll post the links below this video, and then go from there. Also, I am a huge lover of merchandise from Jack and the band. We have Jack Russell's Road Stars of Rock. We got Blaze going out there and doing everything. Thank you for that, brother. We got a hell of a team. I want to give a shout out to Veronica, Dave Wood, KK, Karen, Sarah on Twitter, and the rest of the team out there. We'll be back out. The band will be back out there in May, and we got some lovely shows for you. I'll post all the links downstairs. Listen to me. Down below. And above all, thanks for listening to me. God bless you. And rock on!